dajem reč našem kolegi, profesoru Nikolu Stefanoviću, koji je ujedno i direktor SEAF investicionog fonda u Srbiji. Rad nosi naziv Privatni investicioni fondovi i budžetiranje u privrednim subjektima.
Well, thank you very much. I will try to be very brief because I believe I'm the only thing that stands between you and the coffee break, and that's a very dangerous kind of position to be in. First, I would like to thank the University Singidunum for allowing me to present the results of our work. Then at the same time, I would like to thank my co-authors, which is Professor Nemanja Stanišić, as well as Aleksandra Bradić-Martinović, who is a research fellow at Institute of Economic Sciences. Our research study focused on private equity and business budgeting, and basically I'm going to walk you through only 4 different slides. It's going to be a short presentation. I'm going to tell you a little bit about private equity, about business budgeting, then I'm going to tell you a word or two about our study and the results, and then we can kind of move on. We initially identified different private equity funds working in Serbia and the region as well. We didn't identify venture capital funds, leveraged buyout funds, mezzanine funds, and special situation funds. Basically, for those of you who don't really know much about private equity, it's investing in companies which are not quoted on the public exchange. Basically, investing in LLCs, meaning in Serbian, that would be DEOs, for those of you who speak Serbian. We have several of those funds operating here. You could find, for example, EBRD, Blue Sea, SEAF, South Balkan Fund, and so forth and so on. Then we established the relationship with business budgeting, and we did identify different budgeting methods, from zero-based budgeting to rolling budget, activity-based budgeting, balanced scorecard, and beyond budgeting model. And for those of you, I guess, who are not in this field, basically it's an estimation of revenues and expenses over time. Now, the study focused on the connection between private equity and business budgeting, because actually private equity has a lot of influence on business budgeting. It's a very big market, about 40 billion in 2013, and it's all around the world, including our country as well. We did identify about 483 different companies which were actually analyzed by private equity fund, and we focused our study on those different companies in the Republic of Serbia. We found very different things. We first found that there is a positive impact on the development of business operations of economic entities. Then we found that private equity has a significant modifying effect on the management of economic entities. And then lastly, we found that there are various connections between private equity and business budgeting. But most importantly, which is kind of interesting, we found that out of 483 companies in the Republic of Serbia, only 9 performed some type of budgeting. And that's where we actually go back to some of those questions raised during the discussion. Only 1.9% do some form of budgeting in the Republic of Serbia, and I think this is even an inflated number there as well. The owners, at the same time, did not really realize the importance of business budgeting and didn't know really how to implement it. They needed a lot of help from different institutions how to actually use one of those methods to do business budgeting. Those companies which received financing from private equity funds did do budgeting, and they did it 100% of time. So basically, they did found the budgeting to be very useful, and they moved from the practice of not doing budgeting there at all. Of course, there is some future research study needed, and it could analyze why companies are not really doing budgeting in the Republic of Serbia, and why once they get an investment from a private equity fund, for example, they do budgeting. But I must say that, as a researcher, it was really surprising to me to find those kind of results, because, I wouldn't really think that they were this low. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to move on if you can find me later.